Okay, we're headed to another little double change out. Actually, it is, and this is
to destination.
It's kind of a revisit. We looked at this probably maybe about a year ago, maybe 2 seasons ago, I think a year and a half ago, and there's gas on the street, natural gas on the street, but the house has heat pumps in it. So what we're going to do here, I think this is it, is we're going to upgrade the bottom floor to gas heating and put another new heat pump on the top. So let's go in and see how this looks.
Yeah, and I think when I was talking about our bedroom, I think it's fine. It's good enough. I don't think it's worth doing anything about it.
So it's a heat pump now, and they would like gas, and the gas is available on the street. So we've put the order in to the gas company, and the way this was set up, we're going to do away with the floor plenum and come out of the side of the furnace and give them a nice filter. So we will probably keep the 16 or 14. I hope that's 16, and so we'll keep that, and we'll come into the side of one of our filters that everybody's seen, and we'll do away with the strips and everything. And it looks like with this rectangular duct, it looks like we'll be able to take our plenum and leave the lid off of it and tie right back into this and not have to make too heavy of a modification there. And it should come out really nice. So let's take a look at the other one. Okay, so we tried to go upstairs to get in the attic, and the baby's asleep. And I've seen it once or twice over the last couple years anyway, so it's okay. Yeah, the old Goodman is still running. Now, believe it or not, the older one here, which, as you can see, is from 1993. Believe it or not, I've not put refrigerant in that one. Now this one, which you can see is from '04, we've actually had to add R22 a couple of times. So there's the story on the Goodman. The old brown turds, they call them. I'll tell you what, there's one sitting there from '93, so you do the math. That's working on 25 years. I started to say 13, I don't know why, but that is creeping up on 25 years right there. And I've been taking care of these for a handful of years, and I have not put refrigerant in that. And these trees, that one, whatever it is just the worst. I have cleaned these things I don't know how many times, and I'll come back the next year and they look exactly like they did before I cleaned them last time. So anyway, we're happy that these are gonna go. So you'll see 2 pretty Tranes here, and we're gonna get that done right away. All right, we've got the air handler gone and the gas furnace installed, and everything looks pretty good here to me. Got a new pan, condensate pump in it. There's our whole house filter that we use, and a new plenum. And we did retrofit just with a transition to the existing plenum here because of this rectangular duct. It comes out of both sides, and the customer did not want to go through the expense of changing all the duct work. So there's our vent pipe, our flue pipe going out. It's got the condensate tube taped to it going along outside, which is fine with me. There comes the gas tied in. That black, as you can see, flexible line there, and it goes over here and comes down behind the furnace and right into our 2-pound station. So on the 2-pound station we got the shut off first and straight into a sediment trap, and then a union, and then for some reason he put 2 test tees, one before and after, but you really only have to have it after the regulator. But these are just test tees for pressure. And this is a fused screw-in glass fuse and switch to break the electrical down, and that's what the city prefers. We used to call them Fusetrons. They're getting hard to find, but we buy a pile of them at a time when we find them. And nonetheless, that's what the city prefers as the fuse to the furnace whenever we change from a heat pump. So I guess what that does is saves them from having to go in the breaker box and verify, you know, exactly what we've done and trust the writings or markings in a breaker box. I guess that's why they like those. I don't think it's code, but you know, here in the South we kind of do what the inspectors like, because it tends to make them get along with us and pass our jobs as long as they're safe. So, you know, if that's what they like, that's what we continue to give them. They're getting a little bit hard to find, those Fusetrons. Not everybody has them. But everything looks good here. It's all working well in the cooling mode. So we should be able to get the inspectors out here tomorrow, hopefully in the morning, and get this thing passed off and call the gas company and get a gas meter. And it's summertime right now, but next winter this gas heat is going to change these people's life, that's for sure, in this house. So let's get it inspected. Okay, here's the outside units now that we got them finished up. And looks like the gas company did get our gas line in. Here's our gas tight, so I'm going to stick a gauge on that stub out right there, 1/2-inch gauge. So it's a 2-pound system going only to the furnace for this bottom floor. The top floor is this small heat pump here, so that should be a 1.5-ton heat pump, and this should be a 3.5-ton straight air. And there's our exhaust pipe for the furnace, and we did not have to worry to block off the foundation vent since we're so close to it, because this crawl space has been encapsulated. Therefore this is all sealed up anyway. And here's our tube for the condensate drain, and we certainly fashioned that inside to where it will, when it finishes pumping every time, it'll empty itself, so it's facing down from last foot or two to where it can't hold any water and freeze. The reason there's a coupling right here in our area, and I don't know how it is everywhere else, we have to have what's called a break-off joint. So this, if somebody, the design behind this joint here, this coupling, is if somebody ran into it, it would break off outside rather than inside on the furnace. According to the city ordinances, or maybe it's code, I don't know. I just know that the city makes us do it and the county does not. So that tells me it's an ordinance and not an actual building code. So let's get this gauge on here and get ready for inspection and see if we can get this job passed off and the gas turned on.